everyone, it's Laura Brazil of Mind Over Muscle with your movement tip for the day, where we're gonna wake up the lateral hips and see how it feels to move them gently in your current alignment versus biomechanically more neutral position that we've been talking about in this walking hips series. So what I have here is a soft squishy ball. You can get something like this at any kind of big box store with toys. I also have toted yoga tune-up balls here, but you could just use 2 tennis balls in a sock or any other balls in a sock and tie it off. All right, let's get started. I'm first going to have you set these things down. Set them aside, have them ready, and if you're on a mat like me, you can go to one side, and I want you to have your toes pointed straight forward here, and just kind of walk side to side as we go, but notice that my legs are straight and that my toes keep pointing forward. We're going to do a few steps one direction, and then a few steps the other direction. So we've been talking about using underused or unused muscles when we're walking, and the lateral hips are a key part of that. So you might start feeling the side of the hips. We're trying to wake them up here. And now we had our toes pointed forward before. Now I'm going to have you get into your biomechanically more neutral hip position, which is using your knee pits. Again, you can go back to the beginning of this hip series, look at the Alignment for Hips Foundation video, but get your knee pits on both feet pointed backwards. My feet turn out, your feet might not turn out when you get your knee pits pointed back and your hips in neutral. Okay, go back to that video if you don't know what I'm talking about. Try and get those hamstring tendon lines pointed back, and then do the same thing, walking side to side. So how does this feel now? In this straight leg, kind of like crab walk, side to side, in a more neutral hip. Do you feel it in the lateral hip or the lateral legs in a different spot? All right, shake it out a little bit. We're now going to, this was a gentle movement to kind of start feeling the lateral hips. And now we're going to go to the rollouts with these balls. So if you have a soft squishy ball, you can start there. If you have a tennis ball, you can use that as well. We're going to go to the wall. And what we're going to do is you're going to draw a circle around the head of your femur. So the head of your femur, where it meets the pelvis, that's your hip joint. So we're going to go all the way around here. So we're going to get a couple key muscles as we do this. So you can, if you can't quite get the circular motion, you can go side to side or up and down. But if you have a ball that isn't as soft and squishy as this, it's a little harder, you might not want to put it directly on the head of your femur, depending on how, some people are very tender in this area, but we're just kind of working around. If you have, I'll go from the side view as well. We're going around the head of that femur. I find it easier when I start below the femur. You can switch sides. If you're not feeling any pressure here with the softer ball, if that's what you're using, then you can go to one of your other balls that you might have toted right now. And you can go to the wall and do the same thing. The other option here, we're working around the head of that femur, and again, the head of the femur is that kind of that bony part on the side of the hip. If you feel a bone here or like a hardness here, that's the head of your femur. The other option, if you're still not feeling pressure up on the wall, you can come down to the floor. So what that would look like, I would definitely use a softer, larger ball so you can manage the pressure a little bit more. But again, you're going around the head of the femur here, moving things around. So you have a couple muscles in this area that are really, really important for walking in our gait cycle. And we don't often use them in the way that they're meant to be used while we're walking. So roll it out. If you haven't done both sides, go to pause, go to the other side. And we're gonna give a little love while we're here to our IT bands. So our IT bands are probably the IT band and your Achilles tendon are probably some of the most famous connective tissue in the body. But your IT band runs from the lateral hip down into the knee, and it's really long, and a lot of the muscles that we use for walking and balancing attaching to the IT band. So what we're gonna do, you can take that, you can use the softball if you'd like, but if you have the 2 balls and a sock, you're just gonna use the walk first and go up and down on the side. You may not get the whole side of the leg. Many people are very, very tender with their IT bands. Some people flinch when they even think about being touched on the side of the leg like this. Again, if you're not feeling pressure, if you can't create pressure up here on the wall, you can go down on the floor. But however you're doing this, slow is key. Most of us, the IT band tends to get really, really tight. The lateral hips can get really tight when we sit a lot, and many of us sit a lot. So if you're rolling on this and going really fast, notice if you still have a lot of tension in the lateral leg here. Are you kind of squeezing the leg and not letting go of the tension? And not, the point of the rolling out is to not just roll out, it's to have the muscle you're rolling out be able to relax and accept the pressure of the ball. Oh, mine just did. I slowed down, I had to stop in order to get it to relax enough. So you might have to stop in order to get that muscle to relax enough. All right, set the ball aside. We've rolled out here, and then you're just gonna go back to, let's go back to toes straight ahead, side to side, a few steps. Now that we've passively moved the lateral hip musculature with our rollouts, you might find that things feel a little bit different, and then you can try it, once you've gone a couple times, you can try it with the aligned knee pit now. So that knee pit, when your knee pits point straight back, and those tendon lines, all 4 of them, 2 on each side, point straight back behind you, your hip is in a more neutral position. And so the access we have to our lateral hip muscles, our gait muscles, is a little bit different. So I'd love to hear how this movement tip felt for you. You can keep playing with it, rolling out, and then doing your crab walk shuffle side to side as we go. And let me know how it feels as you wake up these lateral hips. And stay tuned for next movement tip, which should be coming your way next week if you're following me in real time. And hopefully we'll be able to get into some strength for the lateral hips next week, and you'll be ready for it. All right, bye everyone, have a great day.